streaming to start. A very good evening, everybody. I hope it is for you. We've just had rain start here. This is Gulf Harbour Radio, ZMH 286, Patricia and David. And yes, the excitement of rain. We haven't had it for a long time. And here it is, and it's the house temperature is dropping, and David is starting to think about lighting the fire. Not tonight, because it's still 18 degrees outside, 1009.1 and dropping. And we have 3 knots from the east. That's the feeding the low that's coming towards us. So it's going to be a couple of days of on and off rain. So not very pleasant. We've got a couple of boats wanting to leave on Wednesday. So they'll probably be very pleased they've made the decision to get going, because it's certainly feeling as if it's going to be winter. Not like the South Island, which is covered in snow down in the well, from central further south. Okay, let's go to, well, actually what I will do first of all, just to make sure that Barney is getting near the radio, we had a very interesting email today from Michael on Gracias. He is in the Noumea, Port Moselle area. In fact, they are anchored next to Te Tokatia. So an interesting update from him from Noumea. There is still a curfew for another week, and that means that all businesses are closed. However, we are in Port Moselle Marina, and it is safe and possible to enter if somebody absolutely needs to, but otherwise it's best to avoid the area. There's little or no fuel available, as the military has commandeered it all. There's no access to the airport yet. I thought they were going to be trying to clear that yesterday, but obviously not so. So no travel, so the airport's still closed. Groceries and provisions are available but limited, and lines are immense. I imagine things will get better after the quarantine is lifted, so another week, and then they're going to depart. So thanks very much for that information. It's really good to have it. I noticed that some boats are still out at Ile Maître, and I suppose they're recuperating from the passage and looking, I'm not sure how they do the check-in procedure from there, but things are rather flexible at the moment. Okay, let's move to ocean fever. Ocean fever.
Hey Trish, good afternoon. Great signal again.
Yeah, good signal from you, and we've been looking at really good progress from ocean fever. Go ahead, over.
Yeah, I'm just killed the engine, and I had west winds for 3 or 4 hours, and it's finally backed around. It's out of the south now, and anyway, I'm going to rig to sail. I'm 156 nautical miles out, and everything's, well, I guess that trough has come through and moved, and the winds are south at 10, and I blew down the grip file. I think that might be the same as David, and about 50% cloud cover. Following that, over.
Okay, just update you so I can check AIS is functioning correctly, and other people will be interested. Your position and speed, Barney.
Okay, 17, 19, 170, 56.
Okay, got that. We have ocean fever, 156 miles to Port Vila. Wind has been on the nose. I didn't see that on my model here, but David will have a comment on that. 3 to 4 hours of wind on the nose, so the engine was on. But currently it's south 10, 50% cloud cover, and he is at 1719 and 17056. So let's see what David is commenting on for the next 24 hours.
Yeah, hi Barney. By tonight, midnight, thereabouts. I think the wind's going to bless you with a southeasterly direction, and I'd say about 12 to 15. And yeah, there's squalls around. That trough is playing some games up in that area of Vanuatu. But anyhow, apart from that, you'll have some decent winds to get into Port Vila. So tomorrow, I've moved you to about 169.30, about the same latitude, and yeah, about 12 to 15 out of the southeast, I think. Over.
Thanks so much, David. Cheers.
Yeah, it looks like you're coming in from the bottom end based on what I'm seeing on the AIS. Is that correct, over?
From the bottom end, I don't understand.
From Efate, you're coming in obviously from the east, and you're coming from the southern end of Efate, over?
My heading is like 260. And anyway, thanks for the update. Lucky enough to pull down the grid file, it kind of shows the same thing. Thanks for all your help. I don't always have to be first, but I appreciate it.
Well, we like to look after our single-handers first. Okay, stay safe. Not long to go now. Okay, we have a few boats have gone into port or are going into port. Second Sun is in Port Resolution. Well done, you guys. You can come up at the end if you want to let us know, but I see you anchored there. Taurus is in Tonga, and Carrera, we got a message from them. According to the AAS, they're not quite in Tonga Tapu at the moment, but they are busy navigating their way in, so probably won't be on tonight. So they're doing well. Mintaka has disappeared from the AIS, so I assume that Captain Bly and the crew are in Savu Savu. I'll just see if they've got any information or are on frequency about Flying Cloud. Mintaka, Gulf Harbour. No, nothing heard, and I suspect they're having a well-deserved cold one at the new marina. Okay, now we go right over to Kaya, Gulf Harbour. Yeah, it's light again and a bit noisy, but go ahead, Daniel. Okay, can you repeat? I've got your longitude. Could you repeat your latitude? Latitude, over. No, just the latitude. I need the latitude. Over. Oh, that's good. Thank you for the single digits. It was very hard. It's very staticky tonight with this low coming, I guess. So Kaya are doing pretty well. 1306 south. 16849 east, and on a course of 235 true with 5 knots. I'm going to try and get your wind speed and direction. Wind speed and direction, over. I think 0. Well, that's not very satisfactory. I'm passing the microphone to see what he can dredge up for you. Here's David. You have to do it very slowly and clearly because he might not have much either on me.
Well, I'm looking at about midnight tonight. The wind looks like it's going to be very, very light out of the southeast. Looks like a motor. You'd be lucky to get maybe 5 knots, according to what I'm looking at anyhow. And I just want to check one other thing here. And yeah, about 5 knots, I think. So take a look at tomorrow at lunchtime, weight 1. Well, not much better. Still out of the east, maybe about 10 if you're lucky. 10 knots out of the east by lunch tomorrow. Over.
Okay, thank you very much. Okay, well, it's good that we're in touch with you anyway. So the boat that is behind you is Y2K, and they're in Tarawa at the moment. So good evening to Max and Ali. They're on streaming. So clear with Kaya. Let's go to Intrinsic Gulf Harbour.
Intrinsic, over.
Oh, good copy from you, above the noise level. Go ahead.
Thank you. We're at 26 degrees 06 south, 175 18 east. We're sailing at about 5 knots, 010 true. The wind's 15 knots from the northeast. Kind of expected it to have gone round to the west by now, but it hasn't. 12 to 2 meters. An hour ago we had 100% cloud cover, but it's cleared down to 50%, and the barometer's at 1005 and out.
Okay, this is from Intrinsic. Thanks, Lynn. Good copy. 2606 south, 17518 east, on a course of 010 true at 5 knots. They are sailing against that 15 knots of northeast wind. 2 metre seas, and the sky is clearing a bit, 50%, and 1005. So hang on a minute, I'm just looking over David's shoulder and see if he's got a comment for you.
No, just 1 second.
Oh, he says hang on just 1 second, so I will do that.
Northeast winds?
Yes, she says absolutely northeast wind.
175 east or west?
No, she's 175 east. So, yep, hang on a minute.
Well, I don't know what's going on because I've got the winds coming pretty much out of the west by tomorrow, about 13 to 15 knots mean wind. Should be a pretty good direction, I guess. But the odd thing is, looking at as we speak, I really don't see a northeast. I don't see a northeast wind at around 175. I assume I got that right, 175 east. So either you said it wrong or the models are really out of whack tonight. Over.
I definitely didn't say it wrong. We've been waiting for it to go westerly all day, and it's not good yet. But the barometer's been dropping, so and now it's steady. So I'm hoping that it's going to start to change soon. Over.
Yes, indeed. So, we'll hope with you that it does change, and hopefully it will by the time definitely by the time we talk to you tomorrow, Lynn. So, yeah, we'll just have to see how that goes. Okay, we'll clear with Intrinsic and their really nice radio signal. Just to give a heads up, I wouldn't mind if someone like Masterplan told us what the weather was like in Minerva at the moment, because David is keeping track of models versus actuals, so that would be good. Artemis, are you on frequency? No, I think we'll cross them off. And Cape Providence, let's go to the deep south. Cape Providence, Gulf Harbour.
Good evening, Gulf Harbour. This is Robert from Cape Providence. Over.
Yeah, good evening, Bronwyn, and still no sign of you on AIS, so looking forward to seeing where you are now. I suspect your conditions are not as pleasant as they have been. Go ahead.
Thank you. Half the sun is 36 degrees 54 south, west 172 degrees 30. Our wind is something southeast mainly, southeast, and about 13 knots of wind. We're travelling at 020 meters is our direction, and we're travelling at the moment around 67.
Well, that's a good speed for Cape Providence, isn't it? I'm happy with that. Just check the. I really need your position reporting in single digits because some nights are really quite staticky and it's a little bit hard to hear. And I don't think I've got this right, but I think you said 2654.
Yeah.
No, could you give me the latitude again? Oh, sorry, it's 3654. 3654, but that doesn't seem right. Could you give it to me again? Over. Cape Providence, could you give me your degrees of latitude again? Over.
Degrees 54 south, and we're west 172 degrees 30. Over.
Yeah, I'm sorry, I doubled with you. I need the latitude again. Over.
Latitude is 3654.
Yep, I did get it right. Okay, 3654 south, 17230 west, 17230 west. They're on a course of 020 magnetic, 6 to 7 knots with southeast 13.
They can't be worse.
Southeast 13. Yeah, David's just a bit puzzled here. What is the sea conditions like? The sea conditions and cloud. Over.
Sea conditions is a little bit choppy here. Swell is about up to 2 meters. A little bit all over the place. A little bit north and a little bit east. Over.
West is okay.
Okay, and also the cloud cover.
Yes, we do have some cloud cover and it breaks up and then we have a lovely blue, well, not blue sky, but a bit of a mix. Mostly cloud cover.
Okay, so it's mostly, we'll call it, yeah, be good to get a feel for what's going on there, but it's probably around the 80% cloud cover now. Okay, so choppy 2 meter seas, and is all well on board, Bronwyn?
Yes, all well is on board. Thank you. Over.
Okay, thank you for that. And yeah, I think I did not get it correct last night. I think that's why we're struggling a bit here. So anyway, you've certainly got an interesting course going there. Okay, we'll clear with Cape Providence and see if there's anybody on frequency from Minerva. Master Plan or anybody from Minerva, I'd be interested in a weather, well, an actual weather report. Over.
Mackay.
Well, good evening to you, Barry, from Mackay. Always a good signal there. And not sure that there still seems to be quite a group of you in Minerva. Go ahead.
Yeah, we've also got sourdough in here as well. I'll give you what I've got, and then they can type in and see if it's any different. I've got 1015 on the bar, 16 knots from 330 magnetic, and I get about a 60% sky cover, maybe more like 80. It's hazy, but really not any actual open blue sky. It's just like a very thin overcast.
Oh, thank you for that. I'll just repeat in case somebody missed that. That's coming towards you. It's 1015 on the bar at Minerva. This is North Minerva. And 16 knots of wind from 330 magnetic. And about 60% sort of hazy, thinnish cloud cover. Well, it doesn't sound too bad in North Minerva. So that sounds good. Over.
Yeah, Roger, Trish, that's what I got, and all is well here, and Solido's in there as well, over.
Yep. Well, I think I saw them on the. Well, I wouldn't mind talking to Falado and just seeing if you are on frequency or how the radio signal is now that you're positioned. And then I'm going to put the microphone. Oh my God, that looks horrible. I'm looking over David's shoulder.
You can talk to him.
I think we'll talk to David first. Here he is.
Yeah, Barry, I'm looking at the satellite picture. This is about 2 hours ago, I think. And yeah, you're pretty much in the trough. It's broken where you are, so that would explain the 60% that you report. That would jive with the satellite, which is good. And yeah, there's just breaks in it. So, and it is moving, it looks like, very, very slowly to the northeast. So we'll see what happens to it. It might hang around for a few days, or it might continue to move. We'll see. The worst part of it as well to your southeast. You're actually in the lesser part of it. So we'll see what happens tomorrow. But thanks for the report. Over.
Yeah, Roger, David, no worries. Happy to do it. I'm snug as a bug here and got no plans on going anywhere for a while. So we're just going to run it out, whatever happens, over.
Yeah, well, it's a good way to be. It could be, well, you could be in locked in Moselle Marina, and that's much better to be in North Minerva. So quite a pleasant place to be. All right, we're clear with you. Is there anybody else wanting to make contact? Please call.
Harbour, this is Philip, over.
Oh, nice signal. There's a good signal from North Minerva tonight. So, yeah, well done on you guys getting there. And I bet you're quite pleased about that, given that it is probably your first time there. Jan, over.
We're going to beat us on the button tonight, as he did last night. So we actually arrived yesterday afternoon about 1 p.m. So very similar to the weather. We are looking for a weather window, really hoping to get the sail to come us. So when we looked at the models this morning, we are thinking Friday afternoon leaving. For us, it's looking not bad. Sailing Friday, Saturday. Any comments on that?
Yeah, David's looking now. Yes, it would be difficult for you guys in the catamaran to have gone like now, because they're battling those northeast winds, which if you're going to go, you might as well have it pleasant. I'm passing the microphone.
And it should be pleasant if you leave Saturday, and for a couple of days after that it will take you to get to Tongatapu. Fairly light going into Monday, so Saturday, Sunday, Monday, all out of the southwest. The big high is moving basically its ridge to the east. So you're picking winds up from that. At the same time, we've got a big depression that's just about over New Zealand. And that's just helping the winds come along from the southwest as well. So yeah, it looks like that'll be a good trip for you. Over.
Sounds good, thank you. Also wanted to report, we had a message from Artemis today. Do you want me to share what they said?
Oh, excellent. Yes, go ahead.
So, they said here on Artemis, we were 70 nautical miles away from South Minerva on Saturday the 18th, and still taking back and forth to the state. Really hoping to arrive tomorrow at North Minerva. Over.
Oh boy. Yes, they are dealing. Well, it is that you've been hearing David. It's sort of quite confused out there. So we'll hope to get a report from somebody in North Minerva to say that Artemis is coming through the pass, and it will be sometime tomorrow. Thank you very much, Jan. Much appreciated for that, because I've been wondering what on earth they've been up to. Okay, that's great. Is there anybody else wanting to make contact? Oh, there we go. Go ahead.
Hi, Patricia. Now, this currently is 23 degrees 59 south.
1785 west. We finally made it west. Our wind speeds have been pretty consistent, 20 knots on the nose. Our speed over the ground at the moment is about 4.5 knots. Our course being 050 true. The seas have settled quite a bit. We've only got 1 metre coming from the north. We're probably about 60% sail cover. ETA, hopefully North Minerva tomorrow afternoon.
Well, that's great. Thank you for checking in, because I was just getting to be a bit concerned. 2359 south for Artemis, 17858 west, 20 knots of northeast wind, 4.5 knots speed on a course of 050 true, and 1 metre swell down. That's good from the north, and 60% cloud cover. Well, you and Barry on Ocean Fever can sit and commiserate about the last few days you've had of getting to Minerva, but I'm sure you'll enjoy it when you get there. Over.
Except for the rain.
Yeah, it'll be happy days once we get there. Tough nights never last, only the tough last.
Well, David has just made the comment, except for the rain. God, what a blasted... Oh, well, yeah, I'll pass the microphone.
I hate being the messenger. I really, really do. Well, it's a front. It's actually a cold front, and it's emanating from that depression that's about to land-based New Zealand. So I'm sorry about that, as if you haven't had it tough enough as it is. But looking at tomorrow morning, it looks like in the Minerva area, looks like northwest winds about 15 to 20. That's just a mean wind. So it could be higher in the gusts, which I know you don't want to hear, but at least, well, it's not that bad of a direction. And when you make your turn to go into the pass, well, it'll be sort of behind you. So there you go. You'll have a half hour of winds behind you. Sorry, but Ingrid, I hope you get in safely and drop the hook and a well-earned rest. Over.
Copy that. Thanks for that, David. We're also just ahead of time. We saw that one of the models was showing a slight chance of a thunderstorm tonight. You got anything on that?
Slight thunderstorm tonight. Is there anything?
It's quite possible that's the case. I was talking to Barry about the satellite imagery that I just got. It's about 2 hours old, and the frontal band is quite broken over Minerva at the moment, and about where you are now too. I'm going to get it back on, and hang on 1 second.
It's cleared to about 60% cloud cover.
Yeah, where you are, it's really quite similar to what Barry has got on Mackay. It is broken, the front. It runs northwest to southeast, and it looks like it's almost hanging in there, but it may be moving away, but it isn't going to move away fast enough for your arrival. But there are areas that do have thunderstorms, from what I can see. Looking at the very, very cold temperatures, take a look at how cold this one in particular is. That's not too far from you. Minus 71 degrees C, so that's a really big cumulus cloud reaching way up there, probably up to 30,000 feet or more. So hopefully that's not over you, but the only thing I could say is just be prepared for the heavy gust if you happen to be under one of these things, but I think you know that. So hopefully not too much sail is out. So just be careful and have a good entrance. Over.
Copy that. Thank you so much for the information. We'll talk to you tomorrow, and hopefully it's time to rest.
Yeah, and have a safe night. Okay, is there anybody else that wants to... Oh, hang on, he's got one thing more. Ginjo knives.
Ingrid? Yeah, Ingrid, one other thing. You can pick these up on your radar. I think you know that, but if you don't know that, now you do. So turn your radar on if you have the electricity to do it, and you will certainly see these big thunderstorms. They'll show up very, very clearly on that radar. Over.
Copy that. We'll have a look now. One more thing. Are we showing up on your AIS?
I'll have to have a look and get back to you. I didn't see, well, mind you, it's so jammed up around there, and I often just go to, I'm just going to have a look now. I'm going to pass the microphone to David. I'm having trouble with my AIS on my main computer, and I have to go to well, it's a long story. They've changed something. I don't know whether it's my computer or them, but I'm going to pass the microphone to David while I work this computer. Hang on.
Okay, she's looking away, and yeah, it's still looking.
No, she's not on here.
Doesn't appear. You don't appear to be on the screen
No,
at the moment, or at any moment.
I've got Just Imagine.
Just Imagine's on there.
Yeah.
No, I'll pass it over to back to Patricia.
No, she's definitely not there.
And she says no.
Oh, yes.
Wait.
Sorry, I wasn't down low enough. Yeah.
Just move the cursor a little bit and bang, there you are. Here's Patricia.
Yeah, sorry about that. It's just that their scaling thing won't work, and you have to use the keypad to go out or in on the scale. And of course, you can imagine what that's like when I've got a lot of RF around. And I've got you, the last satellite pass was an hour and 35 minutes ago, and they had you on 5.9 knots at 037 true. So, yep, no problem there. Over.
Oh, that's great news. Yeah, we feel like it's been on and off since that electromagnetic storm when we left New Zealand, but that's great news.
Yeah, it's interesting. So, yeah. But yes, you are there. I still haven't got Cape Providence, but you're definitely there. Okay, if anyone wants to do a radio check or anything else, now's your chance. Listening now.
Do you copy?
Okay, there were about 3 people there, and I've got Margaret on Iron Maiden. All good, Margaret, and I've got your email, thank you. So we'll wait for you. You'll be pleased to be away from this weather, departing on Wednesday. Over.
That's correct. We're really looking forward to the weather up here in Whangarei. So maybe next Wednesday, and we'll be on 9:15.
Yep, roger that. So no problem. Hopefully you'll get your sea legs quite quickly, and the both of you, and we'll look for you on Wednesday. There were 2 others, quite a strong male voice. Could you come again?
Harbour, this is not the plan, service.
Yeah, master plan. Hello and well done on getting into Minerva there. So I bet you've had a good day. We were following your progress, Dean, with interest. Over.
Yeah, thank you, Patricia. We're actually planning to leave North Minerva tomorrow morning, heading for Tonga. Must apologise, I missed the first part of this radio chat. Are there any particular points coming out of the weather that I really need to be aware of tomorrow?
Yeah, well, David just talked to somebody about delaying until the Saturday time frame when you would get much more favourable winds for Tonga, but I will pass the microphone to see what he says about leaving tomorrow.
Well, the winds may not be too bad. It looks like they'll be northwesterly, and you probably are picking that up on your models, but that's what I see too. The only issue I would see is you still would be in the middle of this cold front that we've got that's running northwest to southeast. It runs all the way up to the Solomons, goes through the northern part of Vanuatu, and then comes right through Minerva and continues on to the southeast and connects up to a low that's spinning around well below 30 and about 1 to 65 west. That's where that low is. So anyway, that's the cold front, and in it are squalls and possible thunderstorms. But as far as the wind direction goes for tomorrow, and I'm looking at about lunchtime, it looks reasonable. And then on Wednesday, it is a little bit better yet in terms of wind direction. It looks like southwest. But unfortunately, it looks like the frontal band, the frontal band looks like it breaks about midway. So what that means for you is it's still going to be there, and it will be between you and Tongatapu. Let me look at Thursday, and oh boy, I'm seeing a lot of thunderstorm activity, a lot of lightning in this, heading toward Tongatapu. Winds by Thursday look to be, you'd be rumline, I'm sure. The winds would be south to southeast, and they would be feeding that trough. And on top of that, on the other side of it, at Nuku'alofa and Tongatapu, the winds look like they'll be northeast, and that's by Thursday. And then by Friday, oh boy, Friday, this reinvigorates over Minerva, and the winds Tongatapu, Nuku'alofa, Tonga period are going to be northeast, right smack on the nose. So boy, that's the weather, but it doesn't look very good for the folks in Minerva, and that's on Friday. And on Saturday, it looks like it all clears up, as Patricia said. So if anybody wants to go to Fiji or to Tonga and just want to stay in Minerva, well, that's the thing to think about. Saturday, the ridge builds up from the oncoming high that's to the west, and the winds are going to be out of the southwest, south-southwest, and reasonable strength. So, yeah, that would be the time really to go. But you still could do it tomorrow, but you heard what I said, I hope. Over.
Yeah, thank you, David. Thanks so much for that explanation. Much appreciated. Thanks very much.
Yep, but we'll be here and we'll talk to you en route if you want to deal with that. God, it didn't sound too good, did it? There was somebody clearing with master plan, and there was somebody else in there, I think. Come ahead now.
Harbour, this is Sumor speaking. Do you copy?
Yes, I've got good copy on you, but I don't quite know your boat name at this stage. But go ahead. If you're at sea, please give me your position, and if you have a question, go ahead.
We are at 27069 south and 1775608 east. Speed is now 8.7. We are heading east 57, and wind direction is 60%. Wind speed is now 25.
She's cutting in and out.
Yeah, I've got your position, but then I've lost you. I have you at 2706 south. Don't worry with the decimal points. 17756 east. Your speed is 8.7 on a course, I think, of 350. So I'm assuming you are going to Fiji. The wind sounded very strong. I think I got 25 knots. And could you give me your boat name? You might have to spell it for me. Over.
Sumore. S-U-M-O-R-E.
Got that, thank you. Now the wind speed and direction.
The wind speed is 23 and the direction is 60.
Okay, I have that. So you've got quite strong winds, 23 northeast, we'll call it 060. I'm just going to pass the microphone to David. He wants me to repeat your position. 2706 south, 17756 east, and you have got 23 knots from the northeast, and you've got 8.7 boat speed on a course of 350 true. What is your destination? Over.
Minerva Reef.
Okay, you're going to stop at Minerva. All right, thank you for that. So we'll have you stopping there, and he's just looking carefully. Stand by. And what is your name? Over.
My name is Connie.
Okay, Connie, got you. Here's David.
All right, Connie, I've got you here, and from what I could see, you are right in the middle of a developing depression, almost right in the middle, and that's the reason for those wind directions and speeds that you have, and that is going to be about the same through midnight tonight. However, by tomorrow, it looks like that depression still is trying to develop, but it's moved. It's moved considerably to the southeast. That means your winds look to be westerly tomorrow. Maybe about 15 knots, mean winds, 15 knots out of the west. That'll be higher in gusts, but that's about what it looks like for you. So not so good through tonight, but tomorrow morning, probably about mid-morning, the winds should change to a westerly quadrant. Over.
Thank you. Over.
Okay, and I do have you on the AIS, but it's good that you called in because the satellite pass was quite a while ago. It's we're noticing some big differences in the satellite reporting from the AIS. You are there, but it's quite old. So we'll talk to you again tomorrow, Connie, and it will be a bit earlier than this. Okay, clear with you on Samori, and is there anybody else? No, that's it for the evening. Good to talk to you all again, and especially to see that some of the boats that we've been talking to have got to their destination. So we will leave you with the frequency if anybody wants to contact anybody, and this is a Gulf Harbour Radio. We're clear.
Yeah, Trish, question. The New Zealand Coast Guard still monitors 6 and 8 megs voice?
Sorry, you doubled. Could you? There's something about the Coast Guard. Over.
Oh, this is Bolton Bernie.
Yeah, go ahead. But you asked about the New Zealand Coast Guard. I just couldn't understand what the question was.
Okay. Well, the U.S. only Guam monitors 6 and 8 megs, or 6 and 12 megs.
Okay.
And wondering if the Coast Guard stations in New Zealand still monitor voice, and what the 6 and 8 meg frequency would be.
I
Maybe
doubt
you
it.
can answer that tomorrow.
No, I can answer it tonight because New Zealand covers such a wide area. It's not the Coast Guard that monitors it. It's what they call New Zealand, well, it's actually Taupo Maritime Radio, and they monitor all of the international emergency frequencies 24/7. So 4125, 6215, 82901, 12290 and 16420. They are on the ball 24 hours a day. They're really great people. So we always use them regardless of what nets we use, but they're right next door to the RCC, So if anything goes wrong, then they can come up with a doctor or whatever it takes. So yeah, it's Taupo Maritime Radio. It's called Taupo because that is where by international convention, that is where the antennas, huge Yagi antennas, are sighted. Barney, over.
Okay, good to know, and good to know they're still listening to voice. Again, only Guam and Kodiak, Alaska are listening voice in just 6 makes during the night and 12 during the day. Cheers, thanks for rattling those figures off, Trish. Have a good evening.
Yep, cheers, Barney. And yeah, the US dropped the voice a long time ago because I know when there was a US boat missing when we were in the Marshalls, and I wanted to get through to them, and Taupo Maritime Radio picked me up. And then when I finally got through to Hawaii, they said, oh no, they don't do that anymore. You have to have a satellite phone. I thought, oh great, this is a lot of years ago when very, very few boats had satellite phones. Anyway, cheers all, we're clear.
Just another booger thing.
Yeah, one last thing. My son flies the $50 million Gulfstream, and again they have two Collins HF single sideband radios equipped with them all. Cheers.
That's interesting.